Boom! Live and direct from the chilling spot. Janik, your host, aka Truman. Concern. Concern. A sister word for consider. And both are related to that most enormous thing in this multiverse, future. Without care, concern, and consideration for totality of one's future, one cannot have a good future. And if you can do any math, you will know future is a long billion, trillion, and infinitum time to be in boredom, hell, pain, and torture. Elephant in the room. There is only one elephant in the room for anyone, anywhere. And the elephant is their future. This life, death, and afterlife, and so forth. Much bigger than the past they can remember, or the fleeting present. The huggest, biggest, the hugest, biggest thing which everyone ignores like it doesn't exist. Like it doesn't exist. I'm walking in the river. It's so cool here. I'm telling you, there's an inch of water from the rock, man. If one refuses to acknowledge there is a thing called the future, in fact, show a finger to it when it enters one consciousness like most are doing, the future cannot be good. No surprises there. When future sticks the finger back to them, the whole bravado vanishes quite quickly. Future is future, P who turns energy spirals. So basically P, the axis, is future. If one has no concern for future, one will have no hesitation in ignoring P. How many in this world are really concerned for their future is seen easily in this light. Nothing to be said. There is nothing to be said to beings who don't care about the future of their own self-being. The only voice they will get to hear is that of the consequences. A state of constant surprise. There are too many here that think they are some invincible supreme being who will face no consequence for their action. Finally, when the consequences arrive, like the vomiting and nausea after boozing, they are well surprised. They are surprised each and every time. Any consequence come back at them for their action, which are, of course, done without any real knowing. Sums up the whole muggle world, kindergarten society out there, a constant state of surprise and bewilderment. How did things go so bad suddenly? Consequences. Most people do what they do only because they simply do not know the consequences of what they do. If they did know the concentric sequences that follow, most would not do the deeds they do. That's why knowledge of consequences is the real knowledge. The real seeing of seers. Principal operating system. I might have repeated myself, but that's what we need, verbal repetition. Life is but a joke. Is the principal operating system of most on this planet. Of course, some beings stick to their principles. Most more than others, thus only some are on the front line. Just some are on the front line. Whether on the front line or back line, there has to be a conscious decision to fully uninstall the principal operating system and properly install the new future-centric one. Life is serious business with serious consequences. People have a habit of projecting their notions and part knowledge as facts, but in reality, they don't know a single fact worth knowing. They don't know a single fact worth knowing. A real fact is one which helps get one out of hell and break out of the 3D matrix. And break out of the 3D matrix. If only they could admit they don't really know any fact, they could at least begin on the path of learning facts. Stairway to heaven. Only real stairway to heaven is the stairway of facts. Simple. Sticking to facts. With facts, just perceiving them is not good enough. Sticking to them in speech and action is much more important. You're great, that's a fact. Stick to it in speech and action. Facts, facts, real spelling PH-X. So acts done as per P, the axis that sees it all for what it is. The one and only disease. The one and only disease. On the surface, there appear to be many diseases plaguing beings on this planet. LotusOcean, however, sees only one disease, which is not being able to state the obvious truth. People lie to each other about each other's state every day, trillions of times. Straightforwarding, speaking out of obvious perception, is looked down upon like a cardinal sin. Petty egos have to be saved, blushes at all cost. This vow of never speaking out of truth leads to a real dis-ease within the self and then the world. If people just practice speaking what is as is without crazy agendas, all diseases are sure to disappear. Evil was only born from not wanting to speak the obvious divinity of divine. Praise facts. Acknowledging facts. ASA facts. Speaking facts, reiterating facts is what automatically leads to praise of higher and divine. So if one can't simply roll along with fact flow, one can praise either and one will devolve. I'll be back. Gotta change my battery. See ya.